Chapter 14, 35, Spectral Soul's True Inheritance. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. A moment later, Bai Ning Bing and the rest brought Huang Shi's corpse to Feng Yuan. Spectral Soul's will gazed at the corpse and sighed. This person was also an amazing character, a genius when he was young and became a famous expert as he grew. His name had spread throughout Central Continent and the 5 regions. Now he has perished in this place. Fang Yuan and the rest were silent. Spectral Soul's will controlled this stone lotus island and watched the past and present. It knew of many secrets. This was the power of Red Lotus Time Path, true inheritance, able to gain information through the river of time. When Spectral Soul Demon Venerable had obtained this inheritance back then, he had praised it as inconceivable and acknowledged the superiority of Red Lotus Demon Venerable's time path methods. At rank 8, all Gu immortals would touch upon other paths. Rank 9 venerables were even more so, with extremely comprehensive abilities. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's own time path methods could compare to rank 8 time path Gu immortals, but he was far inferior when compared to Red Lotus Demon Venerable. Each rank 9 had their respective specializations. They had their own areas of expertise with their specific strengths. If Red Lotus Demon Venerable compared his soul path attainment with Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, it would be Red Lotus Demon Venerable's turn to be in great awe. Gurgle, gurgle. The water of the river of time gushed out from below Fang Yuan and the rest. The stone lotus island was beginning to crumble. But only 1 or 2 areas were collapsing. The whole created was the size of a teacup. Spectral Soul's will stiffened before sighing. After a while, this stone lotus island will be completely destroyed. We don't have much time left. Red Lotus Demon Venerable had arranged all his 7 true inheritances on stone lotus islands, which were located at different areas of the river of time. After Spectral Soul Demon Venerable obtained the stone lotus island, he remodeled it to become the greatest information channel of Shadow Sect. Not only this, Shadow Sect were able to use the power of Red Lotus True Inheritance multiple times, and recently they had used it to let Spring Autumn Cicada activate smoothly, as well as to help Yingwu Shi and Purple Mountain True Monarch. The Stone Lotus Island's foundation had already been close to drying up, and it had further exhausted all its power to kill the time path expert Huang Shi in the battle earlier. It was crumbling apart now. Where there are gains, there are losses. Fang Yuan sighed. Although we lost this Stone Lotus Island, being able to cause the death of Lord Huang Shi is a huge gain. This person has outstanding battle strength and is like a fish in water inside the river of time. If we had let go of this perfect opportunity, even if we lay in ambush again, we probably wouldn't have another chance to kill him. The group of immortals nodded in agreement to Fang Yuan's decision. In fact, even Spectral Soul's will was not an exception. It looked at Fang Yuan and nodded. In the battle of the giant dream realm, Purple's choice at the last moment was correct. Fang Yuan, I have to admit you have already become the final chance my Shadow Sect has. The great task of saving our main body is yours now. Naturally, this will depend on your decision. Even if you are bent on eliminating our main body, we won't blame you. All of the Gu immortals present were visibly moved at these words. Yingwu Shi's expression changed. He opened his mouth several times, but was not able to let out any words. Who could have thought of this situation? Right now, between Shadow Sect and Fang Yuan held the complete initiative. He was indeed the last hope of Shadow Sect, even if it was presumed they invaded Heavenly Court in the future. Whether he saved Spectral Soul's main body or not was completely up to Fang Yuan. The words of Spectral Soul's will had the feeling of helplessness and a last resort. It was precisely because he knew the most information, he had a clear understanding of the situation. When Fang Yuan entered Red Lotus True Inheritance, Spectral Soul's will created no obstructions or difficulties, and even completely coordinated with Fang Yuan when killing Lord Huang Shi. Fang Yuan glanced at the immortals before replying to Spectral Soul's will. You can rest assured, Heavenly Court is an enormous force. You and I are natural allies. I will definitely help if I can. Spectral Soul's will nodded. I believe you. Shortly he smiled. We are not allies, but a collective force. You are currently the leader of Shadow Sect, appointed by Purple, and have received the approval of the various split souls. Even if you meet our main body in the future, he will also definitely agree. Because we are him, our decision is his decision. All right, I am going to pass on all my main body's soul path true inheritance, along with other things to you. Fang Yuan nodded and used a wisdom path method to send out a lump of self-will. The large sphere-like self will charge at Spectral Soul's will. Spectral Soul's will did not evade, allowing the self-will to merge with it. Information exchange between wills was extremely fast, and after a few breaths of time, Fang Yuan's self-will returned and entered Fang Yuan's mind. Instantly, an unimaginable amount of information assaulted Fang Yuan's mind. Fang Yuan closed his eyes, accepting all the information in an orderly way. He was a wisdom path grandmaster who could not be compared to ordinary Gu immortals. Right now, his expression was calm. Among all the information, the most valuable was no doubt Spectral Soul's true inheritance. This was the most comprehensive cultivation content created by Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. Fang Yuan's mind shook with just a slight look at some of its contents, inwardly praising Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, who created this true inheritance. Undoubtedly, in the whole world and the long history of humans, no, since time immemorial, this was one of the most valuable true inheritances. Since ancient times until now, only 10 venerables had appeared in this world. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was one of them. This true inheritance of Spectral Soul that Fang Yuan obtained was comprehensive. As long as he cultivated according to it, he could approach the heights that Spectral Soul Demon Venerable had once reached. Speaking of which, Fang Yuan had connections to quite a few venerables. Spring-Autumn. Cicada was the earliest to end up in Fang Yuan's hands. It was the most crucial key to Red Lotus true inheritances. But until now, Fang Yuan had only inherited one of the 7 true inheritances of Red Lotus. Moreover, although the inner contents were complete, Red Lotus' true meaning had already been absorbed by Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. Giant Sun, Immortal Venerable had 3 true inheritances. Fang Yuan had obtained the essence of the self-luck, true inheritance from Langya sect, and some contents of all living beings' luck from 88, True Yang Building, and Ma Hong Yun. But it was not as much as the rumor said. Of Thieving Heaven's true inheritances, Fang Yuan had only inherited ghostly concealment, while divine concealment was taken by Zhao Lianyun. To think that the most complete venerable true inheritance that I obtained was Spectral Soul's true inheritance originating from my former great enemy. Unfortunately, my soul path attainment is not enough, and cultivating soul path would require a huge amount of time, energy, and resources. Among these, soul path has the most terrifying requirement for resources. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable had once massacred countless living beings for his cultivation. If I were to repeat his way, I would also need to slaughter countless living beings. Otherwise, I simply would not be able to satisfy the resource requirements for my soul path cultivation. Second, Spectral Soul's true inheritance was Red Lotus true inheritance. Although the true meaning of Red Lotus in the Stone Lotus Island was already absorbed by Spectral Soul to raise his time path attainment, its true inheritance contents were handed down. The most important contents of this inheritance were the immortal Gu recipes of Spring-Autumn Cicada. Not just rank 6 immortal Gu recipes, there were recipes of rank 7, rank 8, and even rank 9. This meant Fang Yuan now had the entire set of immortal Gu recipes for Spring-Autumn Cicada from rank 6 to rank 9. There was a huge amount of content in this set of immortal Gu recipes, amounting to several hundreds of thousands of words. Merely the rank 6 Spring-Autumn Cicada immortal Gu recipes totaled to 17 or 18. The recipe Fang Yuan had obtained in his first life of 500 years was only one of them. In rank 7, immortal Gu recipes were even more numerous, reaching 86. Rank 8 immortal Gu recipes totaled to 43. And there were 3 rank 9 immortal Gu recipes. An additional immortal Gu recipe meant a new method to refine Spring-Autumn Cicada. As far as Fang Yuan was concerned, this would definitely be a huge help. Later on, when he refined Spring-Autumn Cicada, he would not only have many more choices, but could also be more flexible in his methods. To think Red Lotus Demon Venerable had researched so deeply about Spring-Autumn Cicada. So it is true that Spring-Autumn Cicada was Red Lotus Demon Venerable's vital immortal goo. Fang Yuan naturally wanted to advance Spring-Autumn Cicada. He was deeply aware of Spring-Autumn Cicada's power and would absolutely not let go of this trump card that could overturn the situation. Besides Spectral Soul's true inheritance and Red Lotus true inheritance, there were also large numbers of other true inheritances. Some of these inheritances were incomplete, while some were perfectly intact. This was the collection of Spectral Soul, Demon Venerable, when he was alive, and the continual gathering by Shadow Sect throughout 100,000 years. Now all of these belong to Fang Yuan. Although Purple Mountain, True Monarch's legacy was also abundant, he was only one of the split souls in the end. The content he grasped was not even 1/100th of the total amount here. Especially because there was also the Rule Path True Inheritance of Limitless Demon Venerable and a Formation Path True Inheritance of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable, which were not in Purple Mountain True Monarch's inheritance. The value of all these contents was so high that it could not be estimated. As long as Fang Yuan had sufficient time and resources, Fang Yuan was confident he could use these contents to create an organization that was not weaker than Heavenly Court. Fang Yuan's gains had reached an unimaginable amount such that even he himself was shaken. The frightening advantage of being the leader of Shadow Sect had finally been shown. Spectral Soul's will spoke once again. Sect leader Fang Yuan, you have now completely inherited Shadow Sect. Unfortunately, although there are a lot of true inheritances, you would need an unimaginable amount of time, energy, and resources to cultivate them. And right now, what we lack the most is time, and there is also a huge scarcity of resources. Our main body had once successfully defied heaven, hiding from Heavenly Court, and delaying the Great Era by nearly 500 years. But now, our main body has failed. Everything has returned to its original path. Approximately 10 years later, the Great Era will completely descend, the 5 regions will merge, which will definitely result in the largest chaotic war in history. And among the 5 regions, Central Continent's foundation is the deepest with the most amount of Goo Masters and Goo Immortals. Furthermore, they also have a unified leader, Heavenly Court. This is something none of the other 4 regions have, whether it be Eastern Sea, Western Desert, Southern Border, or Northern Plains. They are all controlled by independent superforces and are disunited. Northern Plains does have longevity heaven, so their situation will be slightly better, but when compared to Central Continent's Heavenly Court, their influence in the whole region is significantly lacking. And the most terrifying thing about Heavenly Court is their control of rank 9 Fate Immortal Government. This goo has extremely terrifying might. The reason why Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was able to make arrangements that could resist 3 Demon Venerables after her death was mostly because of the power of this goo. The 3 great Demon Venerables are all within the confines of fate. This was already decided upon their birth and cannot be changed. Only an otherworldly demon is not restrained by the shackles of fate, Immortal Gurpro Fang Yuan. You are a complete otherworldly demon, and thus the greatest hope in destroying fate, Immortal Gummin. In fact, you are the inheritor that Red Lotus Demon Venerable had been most anticipating. 10 years, you only have 10 years. Fang Yuan, don't let Heavenly Court restore fate, Immortal Go. Otherwise, Heavenly Court will become invincible. Even if the 4 regions attack it together, they will not be able to bring it down. If that happens, there will be no hope of invading Heavenly Court and rescuing our main body. You don't have much time, Fang Yuan.